Brigitte, you have been placed on a list of people and groups in America by the Southern Poverty Law Center that designates you as a hater. You are part of a hate group, according to them. Tell us about their list. It's false and it's defamatory, but tell us about their list and why did they put you on it?
Wow, let me start with I'm in great company because you are on the same list. You know, they say birds of a feather flock together, so I guess it's a badge of honor. In today's America, it's a badge of honor to be on the SPLC list because right now the country is divided between those who love America, who are proud of America's exceptionalism, who will do everything for America, who envision America in the same vision our founding fathers envisioned it to be. It's our camp versus the camp that is embarrassed by America, that hates America, that thinks America needs to be brought down few notches because we are too proud and we think we're too special. And they think we need to be just like the rest of the world and everybody is the same. And it's those type who are the SPLC type. And they're the ones who are intolerant. And they are the ones who are the real haters.
This is not a question of them labeling hate groups because of an objective definition of hate. This is an attempt on their part to silence you, to demonize you and marginalize you so that the public square doesn't hear your voice. What is it about your voice, your organization, the message that you're speaking that the left is so afraid of?
It's the message of truth. And the truth is difficult to hear sometimes. And when we are in a time in our nation, Frank, where people need to hear the truth. And there are very few people laying their life on the line to tell the truth. You know, what I do is not like being the spokesperson for the Cancer Society or animal rights. What we do is speak the truth in defense of our nation. My organization in particular, I'm the founder of Act for America, which is now the largest national security grassroots organization in the United States. We have 750,000 members and over 1,000 chapters nationwide, 15,000 activists online, 30,000 volunteers nationwide. We have passed 13 bills on the federal level in Congress and over 80 bills on the state level in defense of our nation, national security bills. So we are a major threat to those who hate our country, whether it is the Islamists who do not like us exposing what's happening in the country with radical Islam rising, whether it is issues relating to immigrants breaking the law and coming here, illegal immigrants, or refugees, unvetted refugees coming into America and being involved in terrorist attacks, or whether it's about terrorists operating within our own communities. We provide information to the FBI, we provide information to government agencies. So we are a major threat to their agenda.
Help us understand something that mystifies many people. You have spoken about the fact that the left and radical Islam are in an increasingly tight partnership together. And yet if you look at the teachings of traditional Islam, the left are the very people they're going to put to death when they take over, because of the left's support for gay marriage and transgenderism and all of these things. How is it possible that the left doesn't understand that they're in a partnership with the devil almost?
The Muslim Brotherhood Project gives tactics and details as to how to infiltrate the West in order to destroy the West. One line of their tactics is how to work with like-minded progressive organizations that share similar goals. That was the title. And they go into detail as to why you need to reach out to progressive organizations and work with them because they share similar goal. And that is the destruction of the West from within, the way you and I understand how America operates and how we are. So that's why they started focusing on the Southern Poverty Law Center and the ADL and the ACLU and MoveOn.org and Organizing for Action, you know, Obama's grassroots organization.
They're partnering with someone seeking completely different ends, yes?
It is. It's mind-boggling. But here's why. I can tell you why the Islamists focused on the left. When you see the ACLU working with CARE, you scratch your head and you think to yourself, how can these two people have anything in common? One is pro-abortion, one is anti-abortion, one is pro-gay, one is anti-gay. You know, the leftist agenda versus the Islamic agenda. But the ACLU is being used as the useful idiots at the hands of Islamists with a goal and a plan. And the leftists who hate America so much are just following. Because here's the thing, they look at people like you and I as the devil. The Christians are the devil in their eyes. Anybody that loves America, whether you are evangelical or not, whether you are Christian or not, no matter what type of Christian you are, whether you're Catholic, Episcopalian, Lutheran, Christians are the devil because they're bad for the country, as far as the left is concerned. And then the gays who don't even know the issue. They don't even know what Sharia law is. So they're marching with the Islamists, with the likes of Linda Sarsour, who's the co-organizer of the Women's March in Washington, D.C. And you think, don't these people really understand? But no, they don't. They're only listening to the talking points of the left.